Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire potential briefing for Saturday, August 1st. Hot, dry weather, near record heat today, but there is a strong cold front hitting northern areas with gusty, dry winds. Also, a wind shift this weekend. That front pushes south will bring some eventually slightly cooler temperatures, maybe back down to normal midsummer levels, but overall fire danger is steadily rising as fuels dry into the 90th percentile or above in just about all areas. And this kind of tells a tale. A strong cold front coming through, moderate winds close to 30 miles an hour, then some stronger winds with gusts to 40 miles an hour up in the north. And that pushes through between today and tomorrow. And as it does so, winds ahead of the front, more southwesterly, then more northwesterly behind it, especially in western Idaho. It's that wind shift that's a concern on some of our large fires. But tomorrow, a very critical day. Large part of our area where we have new starts are covered by either moderate or strong winds, and residual wind effects will continue on Monday, as will the smoke in northern areas. You can see that smoke on satellite imagery this morning through here, mostly in the north, and some in the central with our new fire in the Ely area. And a lot of the smoke in the central areas will expand as we see more fire activity developing with the heating of the day. Just a handful of lightning strikes in far eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. A little bit of rain there. Otherwise, most areas were dry. And the last 7 days has shown a gradual eastward shift of the precipitation. But we did have some heavier amounts of over a half inch in these green areas in the higher terrain of southern Utah and parts of southern and eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. A lot of that is fading fast. And you can see with new starts, even in some of those areas that had the rain, a new large fire start up in eastern Idaho, and new fire starts just about in all areas for the region. Smoke impacts for today on the left this afternoon from both the fires up in the Pacific Northwest as well as Idaho, and also some of the new and emerging up in Nevada, impacting air operations. Similar story for tomorrow, but take tomorrow with a grain of salt. We don't know what new fires we'll get or how much growth exactly we'll see. Just about all areas are now towards the 90th or higher in a lot of regions. The areas in the south that are 70th to 80th are drying very rapidly, and so we'll join the party shortly. Upper level map, high pressure in control over the Four Corners today, and then it slides westward off the Southern California coast, keeping kind of a westerly component, preventing monsoonal moisture. A little low, you can barely see off the map, is tightening up the pressure gradient. That's going to cause increasing winds, very strong winds, very critical conditions in the Pacific Northwest with their numerous fires. And that's going to be our problem, especially a little bit later today, but especially tomorrow and lingering into Monday. You see the high risk for wind. Also, burn environment here with the B, where some of the winds might be marginal, but very low humidities, very dry fuels, and existing fires will play a critical role today, tomorrow, and then lingering into our eastern areas on Monday. Taking a deeper dive, you can see the winds on the top row, and the oranges, it gusts over 30 miles an hour. The dark greens are maybe 15 to 25 miles an hour. You can see how those winds shift eastwards and start impacting some of our new and emerging fires up in eastern Idaho, and going to hit western Wyoming pretty hard where they had some recent lightning, and that wind shifts south and east. Not quite as strong by the time we get into Monday, but you can see how dry the humidity is through the period. Single digits to low teens across most areas. Today, record heat in some areas, the 104s and from Salt Lake to Elko, 101 in Boise, but there'll be a cooling trend. Look tomorrow, a lot of temperatures drop about 10 to 15 degrees in the north. A very slight drop in central and southern areas, but that drop you'll see those cooler temperatures as you go into early next week. Little to no precipitation, just about nothing next 3 days, and that's going to be the same story as we go through the week. We stay critically dry, no high risk. We have moderate breezes through here. The high pressure ridge, instead of being over the Four Corners, is well off the coast. As long as it's there, we're not going to see much of a monsoonal feed. There is a little high that starts developing towards Thursday, but any residual monsoonal moisture stays well to our south. All zones critically dry with moderate risk, low humidity throughout. Winds, some moderate breezes in the south, but nothing that is a critical concern. But we're going to be incredibly hot, incredibly dry. You can see the precipitation through here. We'll have to watch on Thursday. Models vary. If this scenario works out right, we could have more initial attack issues with lightning. We'll see how that plays. You can see our 7-day summary. all those high risks are in the first 2 to 3 days, and then we just stay hot and dry for the rest of the 7-day period. Extended outlook does show a bit of a monsoonal push possibly. We saw that in that day 6, day 7 graphic. We'll see how it holds out, but little to no relief in central and northern areas. That concludes our briefing. Have a great day.